Okay guys, just got to head into town and load up on some cafe supplies. I'm totally out and I didn't have time yesterday. Shout out to C and Mike and his wife in Hawaii for your generous donation on Buy Me a Coffee for the stray cats. You guys are legends. Thank you very much. So while I'm on the way there, I might talk about cliquey foreigner groups that you'll come across in Japan. And I've never lived in the big cities here. And for the foreigners that do, chime in on the comments. It'll be a different dynamic, but I suspect the theme will be the same. So out where I live, rural areas, there are groups of foreigners that like to do the rural life thing, and a lot of them are just house hunters really. Not a lot do farming that I know of, and they get enamored with houses off the internet, and they're into renovations and all this sort of stuff, and they tend to buy in areas where they know somebody, so they might watch somebody's post on a Facebook group, and then they end up buying a house there, which is absolutely crazy. But anyway, they tend to buy around each other, and it starts to become a little bit of an enclave of foreigners, and with that brings its own issues. Unlike living in your own country where all the population is where you're from, you don't really have a choice of the foreigners that are here. So you're going to find really great people, and you're going to find a lot of people that you just don't like, and that's just normal. But if you're in a small area and you've got a few of them, and they're quite domineering types, and just people you don't want to be around, it can make the whole experience not good, and you're stuck there. You've bought a house there, and you're in the community for good. And a lot of times the foreigners don't get involved with the community, and sometimes they buy in areas that don't have tight communities for their own reasons. They want to do their own thing for whatever reason, and that's fine. But the way I look at it, if you come to Japan, the best things about rural life out here is kicking it with the Japanese. Who wants to hang around a bunch of foreigners all the time? And these sort of groups you find on Facebook, and probably some channels have their own groups of people as well, is you have benefits as well. It's not all negative. They can help you do stuff, get things sorted, give advice and things like this. But while that's initially a good thing, you have to think more long term when you're here. Is this really the life that you want? Because if you're not totally immersed with the Japanese and that's really what you want to do, you're going to regret it later. And I've had quite a few, when I say quite a few, 6 or 7 that have come up from Tokyo and Nagoya and places like this, and the common consensus is they're sick of the foreigners. And they bought there, and they've been in Japan longer than I have, most of the time, and they're now avoiding them. So what can be a lure can be a hook later, if you understand what I mean. So the easiest road isn't always the best one to take. Everybody is in different situations and wants different things after moving here. So there's no like correct way, but you just have to know yourself, which is half the battle. And if you're in a position where you're going to move to Japan, you're sort of in that grey area where you sort of don't know where your life's going to be sort of in 10 years or 20 years or longer. So when you get information from lots of different places, Facebook groups, foreigner groups, channels like mine, whatever, get as much information as you can, and don't make rash decisions. A big thing that happens is people find a cheap property somewhere, and it's just a crazy bargain and whatever, and that's the easy way. Go over and just buy something and hope it all works out for you, but it's a high risk strategy. Every place you buy in rural Japan is going to have a different level of obligation, and you need to know what level of time and commitment you want to put into doing things that you would normally do in the community, cleaning drains, rivers, all that sort of stuff that you can sometimes see on my channel. And it's not for everyone. And what I found is a lot of foreigners don't like this sort of thing, and they might think, oh, that looks great, I can do that. But after a year or two, their sort of attitude changes a little bit. It becomes not enjoyable. So if you don't like getting up at 5, which I have to do on Sunday to do another community task, and sometimes it's in the rain, and sometimes it's horrible, and you just don't want to do it, and you've had a hard day before, and your body's tired and things like this. You just have to know yourself if you can do it. And a lot of foreigners, they may change careers. They may have been a professional in their own country and they want a fresh change, and this sort of thing is appealing, and that's fair enough. But a lot of times it doesn't work out. They end up not liking it, or they end up yearning for the city life, things like this. So coming out here and putting all your capital into a house straight away, sort of community sight unseen, it's high risk, and that's why I always say live in the communities, and the longer the better before you buy anything, before you commit to anything, because the supply of houses aren't going down, they're going up. So these trends are working in your favour, so why not use them? There's trends within, they call themselves the IKEA movement. I don't know why, IKEA movement, empty house movement. Anyway, these sort of foreigners, they sort of get people to move into their areas, which is fair enough. Every area of Japan needs people. But some areas are just I can't see futures for them, really. Some areas only have one sort of industry. There's not much else happening. If you were to start a business or something like that, it's going to be 4 months of the year sort of thing, and it just doesn't have the scope if you need to change something up in your life or whatever. So these are generally the ones that are further away from major cities. You shouldn't buy, in my opinion, further than 30 minutes away, and a city with a Shinkansen station is the best, because depending on what happens in the economy or in your life or whatever, being able to jump on the Shinkansen and be pretty much anywhere in hours in Japan is a huge bonus. So in these expat communities, you'll also find that the reputation of the people you live with. So if your area is known for Aussies, and the people in that area, they're a bunch of rogues and whatever, just remember that's going to be your reputation. Because as I've spoken about before, the people you hang around and associate yourself with, if they've got bad manners, they will assume that you've got bad manners, and there's consequences in Japan. If your reputation is not good, people just avoid you, and if that's not the thing you want, then it's not a good thing, is it? So there are different expat communities all around Japan that's popular with certain nationalities, and just be aware of them. And it's not always a good thing to buy into these places if you're looking for something else. But in saying this, those guys that do live in these communities, they're knowledgeable for sure, and a lot of them been here a long time and been successful and everything like that. I don't want to put them down as individuals or anything, but if that's not the general atmosphere that you want to live around, it's best to avoid it.
Let's go, go.